Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna build a mini Lego Volkswagen T2 camper van based on set number 10279. This is the new addition to the Lego AFOL Expert line and is the new version of the camper van. A few years ago we had the T1, now they made the T2. Here is my take on a sort of minifigure scale build that have a lot of flaws because of lack of part inventory and colors. I'm gonna show you how I build it and what you can do to improve this build if you wanna build your own for your Lego city. As you can see already, the blue is not the same one as the real set because here I use many parts from this sport car that came out just this year. And let's start from the base. This is the same structure of the sport car itself. I'm gonna point out here a couple of important things. I'm not gonna walk you through every single detail of the build, but just the important one that you might need if you wanna create this and make it better. Okay, one important part is that 2x4 piece on the side that is perfect to fill the gap behind these mudguards. In other parts of the build there will be a lot of spaces, empty spaces, because if we put bricks then they are gonna touch the wheels and the wheels cannot go. But if you have inverted slopes in the right color, I'm sure you will be able to fix it. Another thing that you will have to fix if you wanna build this better is not to use this 2x4. This is a choice that I had to make because I didn't have enough bricks in this color. But if you have 1x2s, 1x1s, 1x4s, in that situation then you can have a lot more space inside the build for the interiors. You saw at the back also I use a big slope there, that's also coming from the sport car, and I use it just because I had to fill that 1x1 gap. It doesn't have any other particular purpose. Inside I decided to add a little bit of details in 10. I use a bracket here. In the real build over there is where there is a sort of fridge inside the camper van. Of course this has been built on both sides. I had to use some different colors, some different shades, because I didn't have any other choice. But if you have a good part inventory, I'm sure you can build this much better, and you can actually put a double handle somehow there so that you can create the impression of the sliding opening door. Now let's move on. I added a couple more details inside, so one back seat there, which because of those 2x4 cannot fit a minifigure, but if you build smaller on the side you will have a bigger space in the middle. Now let's move on the front, where I added a little bit of extra plates at the front, a little bit of lights here as well. I'm sure you can find a better combination to make the build also more solid, because there are a couple of points where this build is not very solid, and with a better selection of parts you will be able to create a great minifigure scale camper van for sure. Let's add the chair actually later in the next part of the video, and let's put on the last couple of supports at the back and the plate at the front. In this case I use a white tile, but if you have a printed tile with some sort of license plate, then you can go on and make it even better. Now here I'm building the front part. First thing first, complete the interiors with the chair and the steering wheel, and then we have to create the front part. Here I use this 1x4 that came with the sport car that are great, but in this way we have a very nice shape, but is lacking of some of the details of the lighting at the front. If you have this color or whatever color you're building in a 1x2, then you will be able to add a little bit of extra details at the bottom of the front. Also another thing I don't like is that little gap over there on top in the corners where it would be nice to add some rounded tiles. These are the wheels that we are using in the build, and the problem is that I only have 4 of them, and using this part I would be able to add an additional one in front. But because I had only 4, then I decided to use a different tire, which is actually a little bit bigger and looks a little bit back at the front. But I use a different kind of connection because usually this one connect to the cars with pins, but I use some rounded tiles and plates, and I added a little bit of extra detail in the center. But it will definitely look better with a wheel of the same size as the rest. So if you have 5 of them, then would be great for you. With just a couple of modifications you can fix it. At the back, again, I couldn't go so rounded as the front, but that would look better. I decided to use this blue part, again here with a tile as license plate, to give a little bit more rounded shape, even if I think with the same technique used at the front, it would be much better. And also, maybe we can find a solution to cover that gap at the back. As you can see, once we put the wheels at the front and at the back, there's a few gaps that are not filled, and that can be easily be fixed with some maybe T-slopes, modified bricks, and some inverted slopes to go and close that gaps, especially if at the back we manage to make it maybe a little bit longer, of one stud longer, and then we can work out a way to close that gap. But let's move at the top of the vehicle now, and all the glasses on the side. So here we build sideways, we have 2 long ones, a brick, and then a short one. This is not very solid because he has only one connection at the back. Maybe with the use of some different kind of modified bricks, you could be able to have another point of connection at the front of the vehicle. Possibly this could be even a little bit longer, but I didn't want to do that because there is that corner without the white tile, so I keep it a little bit shorter. Or eventually you could think about doing it with a bigger windscreen. This is a 2x4, but if you have a 2x6, it would be even better. A very simple build for the top. I used a couple of these modified tiles to create that not gap, but that part on the top where in the real build you can store the chairs, the foldable chairs. I decided also here to add a couple of those details that we can see in the real set. I have a minifigure scale surf, and I tried also to build a small foldable chair, which do the work for this purpose, even if it's actually too wide for what we wanted. But at least we have some sort of chair over there. Anyway guys, as I said, there's a lot of flaws in this build, but I'm sure you can work out a way to make it better and different colors. Please let me know, leave a comment down below, share a link to a picture if you manage to build a better camper van for your LEGO city. And please remember always to like and subscribe.